Not too long ago, I attempted to get to round 50 with the Locus on Black Ops 3. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it's one of the most fun round 50 challenges I've done in a while. The comments on that video, however, were filled with people saying the Drakon is better, round 50 with the Drakon next, Drakon this, Drakon that. So today, I will be attempting to get to round 50, only using the Drakon, or Drakon, or however you actually pronounce it. And we're doing it on the Giant. Yeah, bet you didn't see that one coming. The reason I chose the Giant is honestly quite simple. Everyone has been lying to you about how good the Drakon is. It's all a facade, it's not real. Don't get me wrong, the Drakon is good, but it's nowhere near the level some people think it is. This mainly comes down to the fact that even though it's labeled as a sniper in this game, that's not really what it is. It's just a rifle on some Giga Chad steroids. A regular sniper like the Locus will one-shot enemies into the low to mid 40s. Granted, you can actually hit those headshots. The Drakon, on the other hand, tops out at about the mid 30s. And that's where this map comes into play. But in order to get things rolling, we need to get the gun. Annoyingly, the Drakon is only available in the box, and as of late, the box hasn't exactly been that good to me when it comes to needing specific guns. But alas, we move. First few rounds off point grinding as per usual, and on round 3 I also bought myself the RK5, just to ensure that there wouldn't be any early round blunders. Round 4, we're at the box, and it continues to be a difficult pain in the ass, giving me the Dredge, the Dingo, and the Wonderwaff. All great weapons, would definitely use them on any other day, just not this one. The song and dance with the box continues for a few more rounds until round 8, when the box finally produces the goods. We have our Drakon, and we can start this challenge. First things first, perks are needed. Quick Revive was the first one up, and it was closely followed by Jug. I then decided to spend 2 more rounds camped in front of Double Tap, so once I hit the required amount, I could just buy it. Wasn't the smartest decision I've ever made, but it did work. Somehow. Now that I had a good couple of perks, Pack-a-Punch was next. This obviously means we need to link the teleporters, of which I had 2 done by the start of round 12. The final one, however, that is on the far side of the map where speed is, that didn't get linked until round 17. In those 5 rounds between the teleporter links, the Drakon was just cruising. Double Tap was carrying this thing hard, and it didn't really need to be upgraded just yet. So I didn't. But things did begin to get a little more spicy as I closed in on round 17. More sprinters and more zombies in general meant I was getting swamped, and only having the limited amount of ammo that I had meant squeaky bum time was, well, all the time. So on round 17, I opened up the back of the map, bought speed, got the teleporter linked, and pack-punched the Drakon. With the Drakon upgraded, there was only one thing left to do, and that was to get myself perched up on the catwalk and start blasting, which is exactly what I did. With the Drakon being as good as it is on these lower rounds, the zombies didn't really stand a chance. It tore through every single one of them with ease, and quite frankly, I cruised the 20s without even really noticing it. There is one thing worth mentioning, however. On round 26, I got a fire cell right at the end of the round, which I grabbed, and to keep my ADD brain entertained between the rounds, I spun the box with no intention of actually taking whatever popped up. But the thing that did pop up was monkeys. There was considerable thought about this and whether I should or shouldn't take them, but in the end I took them because I am but a fickle man. Things did start to get a little more frisky, however, once I crossed into the 30s. Drakon was still good on round 30, the only thing about it was the ammo count, and having such a little amount this round was beginning to make me a little nervous, but thankfully the zombie gods were on my side and kept blessing me with maxis. As the rounds went by, it started to get more difficult. I could tell the Drakon was starting to lose its damage as it was collating less and less zombies each time, and also, the only way to one-shot zombies from this point was with a headshot, and when you have aim like mine, that's much harder done than said. Round 33, the round where I take my first down of the game. My luck with max ammos had finally run out. I jumped down from the catwalk, and my plan was to train the zombies and fry them with the trap. Well, the only thing getting fried was my mental, as I misjudged the amount of zombies coming from the teleporter room, and, well, I just get swarmed and take the L. I revive, but there's now another problem. I have no ammo and no perks, but I do still have the monkeys from earlier. I throw a few down and get hitting the gobblegum machine in hopes of a cashback. It takes all 3 spins, but I finally get one. With bullets in my gun and only a few zombies left, I make my way around the map and rebuy all of my perks, and we're groovy once again. It doesn't last too much longer though. Round 35, I'm out of ammo again, and this time I don't get so lucky with the gobblegum machine, and my only real way of clearing out the round is to now use traps. So I do. And I also downed myself with one immediately by just maybe walking straight into it like a tit. I got all my perks other than quick revive back, but honestly, I'm screwed, and there's no real way out of this. I try my best to train the zombies by the trap near the VMP wallby, and just as I'm about to be done with the train, one final zombie comes running down the stairs and gets me downed one last time. Round 35, for a first attempt, isn't too bad, but I was sure I could do better, so I ran it back. This time I had a completely new strat that I was sure would work. It just required luck. And a lot of it. I switched maps to Ascension, and Ascension has a box spawn in spawn. So the plan was simple: load up some gobblegums, being Perkaholic, Cashback, Immolation, Bullet Boost, and Crate Power. And all I had to do was pray that Immolation and Crate Power were in slots 4 and 5 of the gobblegum rotation. And the plan was simple: we grab the Immolation and then use it, get the Drakon from the box, pull a Crate Power, and then take the Drakon. Yes, there's a lot of moving parts, but it's simple enough. Which was a lie. I did this strat for over an hour of my life, and not once did I pull it off. And I only ever got close once. I got the Drakon from the box, spun the gobblegum machine, saw orange, only for it to be a Perkaholic. There was even one run where I pulled the Thunder Gun from the box 3 times during my immolation. 3 times the Thunder Gun without even seeing a glimpse of the Drakon. Now you may be sitting there and thinking, why show us this if it didn't work? Well, 2 reasons. A, content, and B, context for what I ended up doing next, which was to use a mod menu and just give myself a Pack-a-Punch Drakon on round 1. And look, alright, I basically bullied myself for an hour straight with a strat, which I was so hopeful for, which just failed miserably, so cut me some slack. You already know how it goes early game, and the opening 25 rounds or so were an absolute breeze, to the point where I was basically just standing still most rounds. But with the higher rounds and the higher volume of zombies, things began to get a little more tough, which resulted in me having to train the zombies. Now this is a strat that I've come to use quite a lot in recent months on this map, but I've never done it with a sniper. Mostly it's with pistols or guns that are super easy to not only hip fire, but also to maneuver with. The Drakon was the opposite of that. Hip fire is kind of trash, and it's also pretty clunky to move with, so it's like learning the entire strat over again, but I did get down pretty quickly. The mid to late 30s was when the Drakon really started to struggle, to the point where the gun was basically just being used as a dead wire transportation device. I know AATs with these challenges isn't the most exciting, but when you only have a maximum of 160 bullets and a gun that takes 3 to 4 shots per kill at this round, they're kind of needed. We make it into the 40s, and this is where things begin to get real spicy. We're 10 rounds from 50 and 7 from equaling the Locus. The Drakon is in the grave at this point, and Deadwire is doing 90% of the work, until an insta rolls around, and then the Drakon gets to blast a little. On round 43, I take it down. I'm training the zombies, and right as I loop the train back, the spinny thing starts to do its thing and knocks me down to a crouch. This honestly threw me off pretty bad. I end up getting backed into a corner, and I'm trying my hardest to get out of it, but there's no chance of that, and I take the down. The real fun comes after reviving, where I need to get my perks back. I spin the gobblegum machine and I get a killjoy. It's actually probably the second best thing I could get. I pop the insta and start slaying out the round. I've still got no luck from the gobblegum machine, and now I'm starting to panic a little, which only gets worse when I'm red screen at the end of the insta, but with a bit of luck, I weasel my way out of trouble and somehow survive. I clear out the few remaining zombies, get my perks back, and now we're back in business. Unfortunately, the rest of the 40s weren't nearly as exciting as round 43, as the game from this point just showered me with drops from instas, maxis, nukes, the whole lot. I got myself a raindrops after popping my Packaholic, which honestly I didn't even need, as the game took care of that for me. And after what was probably the longest 4 hours of my life, we take out the final few zombies on round 49, and I see the round tick over into 50. It is done. Round 50 with the Drakon completed, but I'm not gonna lie, Locus still clears. It's not even close. I got to round 47 with the Locus, no AATs, but the Drakon struggles past the round 35 mark. I was also contemplating at this point maybe going a little higher. Around 100 actually crossed my mind once hitting 50 with the Drakon, but then I remembered it's now midnight and I really didn't want to do that. And with that, thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.